Welcome to Pathway of Practice. It's a casual dialogue session with regional artists who have also happened to be prize winners and participants of residency projects and have been very active in their practice. And we would like to hear from them. Before that, let me just give you a brief introduction to who is here, and then they will give their own self-introduction about their work and their life. Right at the top, Mee Ai. She graduated from our co-founding college of the University of Arts, La Salle. But she's been a very active painter, love her work. If you don't know about her, please Google Mee Ai and you will see her paintings. Seok Kee, graduate of NAFA, and then went on a totally different path to study about old people, like myself. She can tell you more about that if there are questions around that. And then the young lady over here, the very beautiful Pannaphan, who came to join us from Thailand. Pannaphan Yodmanee, also a prize winner and also very active in her practice. You will see some of her works in this exhibition, which you can explore after this little dialogue session. Over here, we have Yim Yen Sum. She has joined us from Malaysia, also a prize winner and an active participant in residency. With that, I will just say, before I invite them to do a self-introduction, I will just say that they are actually practicing in diverse mediums. So I think this is a very a good exposure or a good learning experience for all of us to understand where they're coming from, why they choose certain mediums, and what that medium means to them. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mee Ai to actually introduce herself and maybe say a few words about her practice. Mee Ai?
Hi, my name is Mee Ai, and let's introduce myself about my work, actually. My work is abstract painting, but it's basically geometric abstract painting, mostly using the grids, and it's also repetition of the layer of the painting. And I use oil most of the time because of my kind of work is require there is over 20 layers of the painting over. So I found the oil is a more, they have this strength. Even if I apply very thin, they can remain there. And then actually, by the time of the 20 to 30 layers, they dry layer by layer. And then at the end, that painting becomes quite something I don't usually expect. So for me, it's like while I was working on it, become more surprised and more spontaneous, the result. My studio is actually at my home because I don't have money to rent a big studio. So I was always a little bit lazy. So I go somewhere and then I waste a lot of time on the way looking at the shopping and this, and then I waste a lot of time. So I thought the best thing is I made a studio in my home, so I take over master bedroom as my studio, and the small bedroom as my husband and I stay in small bedroom because we just are sleeping there. So far for me it works quite well, and of course there is a size limit, but I realize I can do up to 2 meters. 2 meters is no problem. But of course these days I try to do more smaller works, because big works is a burden for me. And also I found some of the collectors, they're looking for the big work, but sometimes it's too big, it's no good for the most of people's house. They all complain we don't have enough wall space. So I try to do smaller works, but these days I'm trying to do the little bit more different way, same style of the work, but just try the different size of the grid. So they have a quite same color and everything, but you do two pieces together simultaneously, but the appearance is quite different. So that's the one I'm working on. That's what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mee Ai. Seok Kee?
Hello, a very good morning to everyone. I'm Kee. That's my first name. I work across media like Chinese ink, acrylic, and some mixed texture paste. I actually originally work mostly in Chinese ink because I was formally trained in Chinese ink. But during COVID, I have some production issues because, here closed, there, restriction, then I couldn't send my work for scroll mounting. So I switched to working on acrylic on canvas more now. My work, actually usually research on topics like environmental conservation, migration, and technological advancements. Right now, I'm working on a new series of work to work with the elderly. Is something new that I'm working on. And most likely, I'll be able to run the program in about 2 months' time. And besides that, I'm also a wellness coach. So any one of you all seated there, if you think that you are in the elderly category and you have got some issues, please, we can talk further later. And that's about me.
Seok Kee, wait. Where's your studio?
Just like Mee Ai, I work from home. I feel that, it gives me more freedom that I don't have to worry about, rental every month. So like Mee Ai, I work when I feel like I want to. So I work in my living room and my kitchen. But I think I'm managing fine. I try not to do very big works. If, client want bigger works, then I will suggest diptych or triptych, yeah. So I try to work within about 1 meter frames. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Pannaphan.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะแอมปานพันธ์ยอดมณีค่ะก็เป็นศิลปินไทยที่ทำงานเพนติ้งเริ่มจากงานเพนติ้งก่อนที่จะทำงานเพนติ้งก็จะมีพวกโมโรเพนติ้งที่เป็นเทคนิคไทยเทคนิชแนลก็คือเอามาผสมกันเป็นคอนเทมพอรารีอาร์ตเริ่มต้นมาเป็นงานอินสตอเลชันด้วยแล้วก็มีผสมงานเซรามิกเข้ามาร่วมด้วยก็คือมีเรียกรวมๆเป็นมิกมีเดียค่ะเป็นจุดเริ่มต้นแล้วก็ปัจจุบันนี้มีสตูดิโออยู่ที่บ้านเกิดที่นครศรีธรรมราชกำลังทำสตูดิโอเพื่อเป็นแบบกึ่งมิวเซียมกึ่งสตูดิโอความฝันในอนาคตก็คืออยากมีมิวเซียมที่บ้านเกิดเป็นของตัวเองสักมิวเซียมหนึ่งที่เป็นสตูดิโอของเราเองค่ะ
Okay, so this is Pannaphan. She was the POY winner in 2010 and 2016. She was a winner of Singapore Biennale. So she mentioned about her work. Of course, she started off with painting, and then later on, she moved on to contemporary art, and then the art installation. This is you can see her work in the art installation from in Singapore Biennale because she got inspired by when she came to see the art installation in at SAM Singapore Art Museum. Yeah, and in her work she add in as well the inspiration from the Thai mural art painting. And after after this painting and in art installation, she got inspired by this artwork with the ceramic art as well. And the technique that she used now is a mixed media. And she had a studio in her hometown in southern Thailand, Nakhon Si Thammarat. So what her dream is, she would like to have a studio, and at the same time, it's like a media museum as well in her studio. That's her dream. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I support that idea. Let's talk about having a museum in the studio. Okay, sorry, Yim Yen Sum.
I will call myself an object maker, because this term is like meaningless term. It doesn't bring any meanings. I don't like to frame myself, so I just choose the material based on my concept. But mostly of my work, I choose soft material. I prefer making installation because to me, making installation, me myself is like I'm trying to make a tutor. I prepare the props and the story and the audience, they are the play on the stage. So the audience play a very important role in my work. They are part of it. They're walking around the world. That's why my work is always a huge installation. So the audience is walking around the world, and then they look at each other, and then they have very direct interactions with each other. Because I'm interested in making the work that connecting everyone together.
Thank you very much for that. So I think that introduction is... So I just want to point out that introduction is so significant because it's good for you to kind of... Sometimes you look at an artwork and you wonder, who is this person who made this artwork? What they're like, maybe where they live and what they're doing, how they live their lives. And this is a good kind of like an opening for you to understand who they are as people. So we're going to go into the dialogue now to talk a little bit about, firstly, winning prizes in competitions, and then secondly, maybe talking a little bit about residencies or projects, okay? So I'm going to ask this question quite, broadly. What is the importance of competitions in an artist's life and practice?
You decide, okay, I'm going to be an artist, but you don't know where to start. And these things comes only when you have a certain recognition. It's like maybe there is a gallery who's interested in what you're doing, despite you are just beginner. And in my case, I started while I was studying, and I did some group show, and then some gallery was interested, and then I was at another gallery, another group show. And then they decided to do a solo show. And 2003, while I was doing this solo show, I decided to participate UOB POI. And I was very lucky. I was abstract category. I was a winner. So at that moment, there is some contact through this exhibition, and some gallery was interested to do even further. Many other, some strange contact as well. But of course, you have to be very selective. And after that, I had another opportunity. There was some collector, they recognized your work, and they said, I saw your work in the UOB, the POI exhibition, and I like the work. It doesn't mean they want to buy, but they said that it's a very interesting work. That's already a good start. So in my case, it started in that way. So this art award is quite important. Also, the participation by itself is important because you put yourself in test of what among all artists, where you stand. And even if you don't win, you can see what other artists is doing and what kind of work is going on. And just as long as you don't copy, it's okay. And then the next thing is maybe if you're lucky, there is some people is always approach you. They can be gallery, they can be art consultant. And then you start from there.
Thank you, Mee Ai. Friends might want to know that actually Mee Ai, in this row here, Mee Ai is the most decorated with the awards under the UOB Painting of the Year. That doesn't mean that the rest of the artists are insignificant. They have won other prizes, but I just wanted to point that out. So just because you win one prize in one competition, it doesn't mean you can't keep applying for the same competition, because every year it's a little bit different. And it's also, as Mee Ai has pointed out, it helps to motivate you. And there are so many other benefits. So thank you, Mee Ai. We'll move on to Seok Kee.
Yes. Well, interestingly, I graduated my Bachelor of Fine Arts in 2018. And in that same year, I won my first UOB Painting of the Year Silver Award, established category. And it sort of came as a surprise. I wasn't quite ready to, do anything. So the award becomes a very important push factor for me to take on the journey as an artist seriously. And UOB is very good in the sense that, their marketing program, their, branding, and then they created a lot of, platforms for you to, take part in either exhibitions or do social work for the community. I think it comes at a time when I do not have the, resources to market myself, my work independently. So that really helps a lot. And with that kind of, social exposure, people, approach you, like what Mee Ai say, for various things. And then, like, gallery owners, they're out there to make money. So they say, Kee, your work is very nice. But may I just check, how many pieces can you produce in a month? So if my rice grain painting is, is really very time consuming. I say I'll be lucky if I can produce 2 within a month. And he say, no, but I'm a businessman, I can't be waiting for you to take your time to produce. I say, it doesn't matter. But I say, the profound meaning behind my art pieces is so strong, the connection with me is so strong that I will not, forgo to make it simpler, just to cater to the gallery. So yeah, that going on, and of course I took part in many group shows, and UOB organized a solo show for me, which I'm very thankful. Slowly people get to know, your works, and then if you continue with your research, then you see your work, slowly evolving. Yeah, so that was, how winning the contest has helped me and became a very important push factor for me to, continue as a full-time practicing artist.
Thank you, Kee.
คือตัวอุ้มเองได้รับรางวัลตอนที่ยังเรียนอยู่ค่ะก็คือเรียนปี 2ที่ศิลปากร University ซึ่งตอนนั้นอะเรารู้สึกว่าการส่งงานประกวดงานเรียนเข้ามามันคือการแบบเอางานตัวเองที่ส่งอาจารย์มาส่งแบบเป็นงาน UOB ก็แต่ว่าการได้รางวัลเนี่ยคือมันไม่ได้แค่เป็นเงินรางวัลค่ะตอนนั้นอะเราได้มาที่สิงคโปร์แล้วก็ได้เจอเพื่อนๆที่ได้รับรางวัลด้วยกันแล้วก็จากหลากหลายเชื้อชาติและที่สำคัญเลยคือได้เดินเข้าไปในแซมมิวเซียมซึ่งเป็นแบบ the first time in Singapore แล้วก็ in Sam แล้วเราก็ได้เห็นแบบงาน installation art ที่มัน impact มากๆซึ่งเรารู้สึกว่าการทำงานอยู่ในสตูดิโอของตัวเองเป็นงานแค่งาน painting แต่การมาสิงคโปร์ครั้งแรกกับการดูงาน installation คือเป็นการเปลี่ยนชีวิตเด็กคนหนึ่งในการทำงานที่ไทยอะค่ะให้รู้สึกว่าเราอยากทำงาน installation art แล้วก็ความฝันอีกอย่างหนึ่งคือของเด็กคนนั้นก็คือการได้มีงานตัวเองที่เป็น installation ในแซมมิวเซียมซึ่งต่อมาเราก็ทำความฝันให้มันแบบเป็นจริงใช่ค่ะก็คือได้มาแสดงที่สิงคโปร์เบนาเล่ที่แซมคือตอนนั้นมันแบบย้อนกลับไปคือ UOB ได้แบบซัพพอร์ตก็คือเหมือนทั้ง exhibition ต่างๆมันไม่ใช่แค่การได้รางวัลแล้วจบก็คือมีงานนิทรรศการต่อเนื่องที่ไทยแล้วก็ที่ฮ่องกงก็มีแบบ Art Fair ซึ่งเป็น Art Central หรือว่าเป็น Art SG หรือทุกอย่างสิงคโปร์ก็จะเป็นคอยแบบซัพพอร์ตศิลปินของตัวเองบนเส้นทางในทุกๆปีก็จะมีศิลปินที่มีความเหมือนมั่นคงมากขึ้นเป็นภาคเอกชนที่เข้ามาแบบซัพพอร์ตส่วนช่วยให้บนเส้นทางของยังอาร์ติสต์ได้เดินมาสู่แบบความเรียบง่ายมากขึ้นเพราะว่าแบบอย่างศิลปินไทยเองมันรู้สึกว่าเราไม่มีการสนับสนุนจากภาครัฐเท่าที่ควรนะคะแล้วก็ UOB ก็คือเป็นส่วนช่วยในการปูเส้นทางศิลปะให้ศิลปินได้เดินต่อไปเรื่อยๆค่ะ
When she sent her work to POY, UOB POY in 2010, at the time she was a second-year student at Silapakon University in Bangkok. And winning the prize on that year, of course, the money that she got from that award really helped a lot for her to go on with art. And it really opened up her eyes because at that time, 2010, that was the first time that she came to Singapore. and she had a chance to visit Singapore Art Museum. And the art installation at SAM's at that time really inspired her to move on to the next step, is the art installation. It was her dream as well that she could do the same thing. So, and of course, in 2016, when she won Singapore Biennale, she had her own art installation at SAM. And of course, what she mentioned is winning the prize with UOB. It's not only a one-time thing. That really gives her a kind of, inspiration and then opportunity to go on to produce art pieces. She really appreciates that very much. And and as a young artist, of course, it's not easy to go on to produce art piece without any of this support.
Pannaphan's pathway was kind of interesting, as she mentioned that she already submitted while she was still a student at Silipakon University, and then I wanted to also ask her about the Benes Art Prize, which yielded the installation Aftermath. It's her, yeah. So she, artist has already responded to that, and I would strongly suggest that you Google Aftermath. It's a very beautiful installation. It's also, the answer being given by artists is also very interesting in the sense that the UOB Painting of the Year and many other competitions could be one particular medium, but it allows the artist to kind of expand, into different areas of their work, as Pannaphan has shared. So I think that this is a very important point to make about that.
Next. I need to be honest, right?
Good.
Why make me want to join the competition? Because the poster, 25,000 USD. Wow. What is this competition? So this is my first time to join the competition, and I get the first prize. Yeah, very fortunate. Before I talk about this, maybe I share a little bit about my life before I get the prize. I've been working for 3 different jobs. If artists consider one of the job, then maybe 4 jobs in 1 month. So I spent a lot of time to travel here and there. Like one of my job is I lecturing in Dewan Academy in KL. After the class is finished, I need to travel far away, like 5 hours from KL to Johor Bahru to work there until Thursday. So Friday, I have another job as a Nippon paint color consultant. So I need to travel. Nippon paint color consultant is all around Malaysia. So it depends where I need to go. So I spend a lot of time travel here and there just to earn my basic income. So I think it's not easy, because sometimes when you want to make art, but when you go back home, you are so tired. And where the energy come from? So I decided I must join the competition. And after I get the money, everything's settled. I resign all those jobs. But I keep the lecturing job, okay? Because I enjoy sharing with the students. So this is how the first thing, the biggest thing that changed my life. And what that impressed me is I thought that after winning the competition and then that's it. But UOB is very different. After I get the award, they invite me to a stage, and then they invite me to a center, and even I'm here for the sharing. And they also sponsor me to participate in IOTA Indian Ocean Craft Triennale in Perth. So I think they allowed me to dream big. And this is very important to me, because before I get the award, I feel like I don't have money to do this kind of thing. I don't have time to do that thing. But after that, I feel like you just need to dream big. And then if your idea is solid, then there must be a way to achieve it.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Sorry. How about that? Okay, so if there are other people who are organizing competitions out there, if you want to know how to tweak your terms and conditions, perhaps you could get some input from here. So I think developing on this part of the conversation before we move into other parts of the career of an artist, I want to ask one question. Do you have a fear when you enter a competition, any competition? It doesn't have to be the UOB POY, but you can refer to that if you want. Do you have a fear that you will not win? And maybe tell us a little bit about your state of mind when you are entering a competition.
Competition is always difficult, and if you prepare in advance what you want to do, and you want to make the best out of you, and then you have a really, really masterpiece that is the best. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. As an artist, sometimes you have ups and downs, and your work progress sometimes is not so good. It's like you have several paintings, and some paintings come out good, some paintings don't come out good. So when you try to prepare for the competition, sometimes it doesn't work as you planned. They select as this pool of selection, they're considering your piece. I feel already good because actually I've been selected in the UOB POI quite often, like 6 times, and including one of the big win. But every time when I participate, I feel like I want to see if my work is still attract judges' eyes. So for me, that is the biggest thing. But when you your work become a certain level of expensive, then you have to consider also you don't want to put too big work because your work is more than the prize money. So that is another thing. And also sometimes you think about maybe one time I thought that maybe I should don't do participate anymore. So there is many younger artists. They have a more chance to do And then I thought myself, hey, who are you? It's like I'm one of the artists, and I'm still trying my way to how to create the better works. So don't think such a nonsense, and then I keep participating.
I think it's important also to perhaps share that, competitions evolve and judging panels evolve, audiences evolve. So in a way, the answer that Mee Ai gave is also quite significant because you're not, when you become an artist, you're not the same artist forever. You're always, evolving and you're continuously practicing. So entering competitions, this is why I asked about your state of mind, and it's good that you kind of shared that. And I think it's important for all, budding artists out there to understand that you must clearly stay motivated and think about it in this way, that you're always growing. So Kee?
I participated in this UOB POY twice. I submitted twice when I was doing my diploma. Never ever got selected, so I thought maybe I should just forget about joining competition. So when the external examiner from UK, gave his critique on my FYP, my final award, it's 11 meters long, all about rice grain. He was so impressed. Say, why do I see you referencing, Western painters for your artwork and not Chinese painters? Because you are using a very traditional medium, Chinese white ink on rice paper. But I say I couldn't quite find somebody that has this kind of concept. I'm, more, how should I say, impressed by how Robert Ryman, just using white on white, can create some texture that if you see on the internet, is very different when you see the actual artwork, physically. You come to realize that, the texture, even though all white,
but it's absorbing the light from the surrounding and is, giving you a different kind of a vibe and how you're going to connect with all this texture paste. So since, the professor said that it's good and he said, I should share this, concept with the rest of the world. And I say, how do I share, I think maybe taking part in UOB POY again is one very good, platform. So I submitted. And on the closing day, I waited and waited for UOB to call me. Nobody called until almost 6 o'clock. When I almost gave up, I told my son, I said, well, it's another year. I won't be getting anything. And UOB called and said, you're selected, to do the submission for the next round of judging. I was so happy that I, shed tears. And I say, yeah, when you're being called up, to submit your work, you say, yes, you're one step closer to winning the prize. And winning the prize, you tell yourself that, yes, I think there are out there people who can actually, resonate with your work, appreciate your work. And I say that is very important. That means the amount of time and research you spend on creating this work becomes so worthwhile. And that doesn't mean that if you don't win, it's not worth the while. It's just that, probably, that year the panel of judges didn't quite connect with your artwork. So just continue doing. And yeah, so I first born in 2018. It's an all-white painting, and then slowly over time, as I exposed to more things, as I researched on more things, and in 2023, I created one using some textured paste, but I've included things that, really like every day you turn on the internet or you're on Instagram, it's always showing about drones, doing a lot of things for us. And I thought, yeah, maybe one day, maybe we can, use drone to really help in our lives. And it's actually happening now. Like in China, the drones are helping to do your food delivery. And so maybe going up to the mountains, you don't have to do your cooking there and then, leave loads of rubbish. And then you can just, order food delivery and the drone will fly to wherever you are. And that makes life much easier. And also, in a way, keeping the environment, cleaner. Of course, then people say your drones need to be, operated by battery or whatsoever. I hope in future, they can create something like a solar-powered battery that can be so powerful that you can really fly up to the mountains. And so with all this, you keep on, looking around you and you keep on developing your artwork. And yeah, so it sort of evolved over time. And you also hope that the audience can connect to them, and the judges, also can resonate and give you that kind of a validation for you to continue, with your art practice.
So before Pannaphan, maybe I just ask you this. You were talking about how your lecturer encouraged you to share your concept with the world, and then you entered the competition. But when you produced the painting, and then later on you talked about the drone painting, I remember that. For audience here, Kee is actually describing one of the paintings that she entered into the competition. But when you design this painting and you submit it, are you afraid? Do you feel anxious that people won't understand what you're trying to talk about? I think I want to try to get that answer from you.
Yes. So, as an artist, we try to depict certain things we see. And maybe we want to add in our own idealistic thinking. So it may not really appear what are the real items that we are seeing. And I said, never mind, I'll just try it out and see how they connect with it. And yeah, one of the UOB staff asked me certain things, the panels on the roof, what are they supposed to be? I said, those are supposed to be solar panels, but because of the colors that I use, I say I need to make sure that, the color blends well. And I don't want to use black that will suddenly, jump out from the painting. So there are things like that to consider. Yes, we do worry that people may not understand, but I feel that as artists, we need to have the courage to really, go on with what you want to do and see how the world respond to it. And if there's a chance, then you explain to them, and that's how you move on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kee was a valedictorian, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for her fine art diploma. Diploma? Yeah. And so thank you for that. And then courage to create is one of NAFA's pillars. So all budding artists out there, have your courage. Okay, sorry, Pannaphan?
เราไม่ได้มองว่างานประกวดคือการแข่งขันคืองานประกวด POY คือการเปิดโอกาสให้ตัวเราเอาผลงานของอาร์ตของตัวเองเข้าไปอยู่ในโอกาสแล้วก็เหมือนเพิ่มการเป็นการแบบเพิ่มคอนเนคชันแล้วก็ไม่ได้คิดว่าตัวเองจะได้รางวัลค่ะเหมือนเป็นการรู้สึกว่างานที่เราทำงานอยู่แล้วมันคือการได้ POY มันคือผลตอบแทนที่เป็นกำลังใจมากกว่าในการเป็นศิลปินคือไม่ได้มองว่ามันเป็นการแข่งขันเราก็เลยไม่ได้กลัวเพราะว่าตั้งแต่ทั้ง POY ทั้ง Benesse Prize เราก็ไม่รู้ว่าผลตอบแทนหรือการชาเลนจ์มันคืออะไรแต่การที่เราทำงานอยู่ทุกวันอยู่แล้วเราคิดว่าวันหนึ่งมันอาจจะไปเจอคอนเนคชั่นเจอโอกาสต่างๆที่ทำให้เราแค่มองว่าถ้าเราทำวันนี้แบบดีที่สุดในผลงานของเราเราก็จะได้โอกาสและก็คอนเนคชั่นต่อไปเรื่อยๆเรามองการประกวดเป็นคอนเนคชั่นมากกว่าที่จะได้เจอศิลปินมากมายแล้วก็จะได้แสดงงานต่อไปในเอ็กซิบิชันต่างๆค่ะ
Okay, as for Panawi, she doesn't look at the art competition as really a competition, but for her, it's more of the way to open up opportunity for connection and for her to have more exposure and to have the chance to meet other artists. Yeah, that will be her answer.
Sorry, so she's not scared when she enters competition?
ไม่กลัวใช่ไหม
ไม่กลัวนะคะเพราะว่ารู้สึกว่าได้หรือไม่ได้ก็เรายังคงทำงานศิลปะต่อไปแต่ถ้ามันไม่ใช่คือการแข่งขันถ้าการแข่งขันเราจะเครียดแล้วเราก็จะเหมือนเราแบบต่อสู้แบบหนักอยู่ตลอดเวลากับคนอื่นอย่างเงี้ยคือไม่ได้รู้สึกว่ามันคือการชนะแต่วันหนึ่งที่ได้รางวัล POY ค่ะพอเราได้รางวัลแล้วเริ่มแบบคิดแล้วว่าฉันจะอยู่ในเส้นทางศิลปินได้ยังไงหมายถึงทำให้อยู่ในระดับเดียวกับที่ POY ได้ให้รางวัลเราให้เราทำให้แบบเหมือนสมเกียรติสมศักดิ์ศรีกับการที่เขาให้รางวัลเราจะทำยังไงนั่นคือคำถามต่อที่เรารู้สึกว่านั่นคือการต่อสู้คือบันไดเครียดกว่าการไม่ได้รางวัลอีกคือตอนนั้น
Okay, just like what I mentioned at the beginning, right? Because she did not think, for example, the POY UOB, she did not think at the beginning that is a competition for her, but it's more for the path for her to meet other artists and to have more opportunity in the future. That's why it was for her, it was not stressful to produce that artwork. And but actually, what she mentioned is the stress come afterward. How to keep up the standard of POY UOB.
Okay, thank you.
If you enter the competition, if you lose, if you're not selected, no one will know. Then why you worry about this? And you will only announce to the world, yeah, I get the award when you are selected and when you get the award. So no, I don't worry about that.
Wow, okay. Very good answer. Okay, budding artists out there, take your cue, have the confidence, and if you don't win, nobody's going to know. Oh, well,
you.
Yeah, except yourself.
I
sorry.
say a few more lines. But even though getting the prize, sometimes I will be worried about, because you need to know that the judges have their own preference. So if you're not getting the award or not selected, this doesn't mean that you are not doing good. Just they have different choices, they have different preferences. And I don't take that competitions as a standard to grade my work. I think that because if you are an artist, you treat all your artwork equally. All the artwork, it will be achieve certain level of you, and you feel like you are satisfying of this. So don't let people judge you. But the competition is important, yeah. Money and and the reputation. So when you join the competition, you kind of know that. That's why I always apply the artist residency, because there are a lot of these artist residency lists. You can just apply it like 1 month, maybe 5 or 6, and then you will have that. You don't have ego anymore, because you check your email. No, thank you so much for submission. No. And then one day, congratulations. And I feel like, oh yes. So this will make you less ego. And I think this is very important. If the artist is very ego itself, I think it's very hard for the next coming. Yeah.
No, very good. Thank you. Okay, so Yen Sum mentioned residencies. We're going to move on to that in a very short while. I just want to point out a thread that's coming through, which I think is quite important, and that is the point made about judging, okay, and the reception of the work that Yen Sum was saying. Don't let other people make judgments about your work, but also that everyone has a different perspective about what constitutes a winning artwork at some point. Having been a judge myself of many different competitions, we always get asked this question, how do you choose a winner? The reality is it's not so simple to answer that question. It's not the same answer every time. So for, in terms of advice or in terms of sharing, for the budding artists out there, or even the currently practicing artists, established artists, the answer is different every time. If you take a leaf out of this book, humility is one thing, but also having conviction in your practice, and also knowing that if you don't win or you're not selected, it's not the end of the world, and it's perhaps just not your time. So I think that that's a very important thread that actually running through with all of the artists. Let's talk a little bit about residencies, and maybe we will, how important then is residencies or applying for residencies, and how does that fit into your overall practice, and maybe talk about one residency that's been quite life-changing. So, Mee Ai is looking...
No, unfortunately, I have not much to say about the residencies because I never actually done it. But before that, probably she can say more about that. Before that, I have one thing to share, because just now about we talk about how the reaction of the nervous and all this, and when you apply. I had one incident that when I won in 2014. My painting was this painting of the year. Painting was a very dark painting. It's almost black. Of course, it's not a black. There is many layers. So only if you are really, really interested, cross and back, and you can see the details and things like that. But anyway, after I won, I'm not doing any social media, so I was very quiet. And then my husband was often, he dig what is going on. And then he showed me this, somebody was written there after the photo of this, I think it's a Straits Times photo. The guy took it, just a boom. And then of course it come out, it's totally black. In front of black, I was standing there. And then there was this writing, oh my God, this year's painting of the year is a solar panel. So, and then he said, I can do that myself. So all the writing was all that. And at the end, somebody said, no, actually, I went to see very close, and then actually there is a lot of things. It's not black. So after I read that, I was in love. And then I thought, yeah, probably it looks like a solar panel from the distance. So what I want to say is there is always criticism. There is always some people, they say the good thing, and some people is not even interested, and some people is very critical about it. Of course, critical about it is more important than no interest at all. So when you any time, even if after one or even if after exhibition, and those who does the social media, there will be always some kind of a criticism. But as an artist, that is a part of it. So you have to take it as it's good for you. So that's what I wanted to say.
You can't escape this question. I'm going to ask you in a different way. Since you have not been the recipient of a residency, or you have not participated in a residency, perhaps talk a little bit about why you haven't done a residency and what that means to you, or what it doesn't mean to you. I think it's important for established artists or even audiences out there to try and understand why different artists need different things.
I was interested to apply for several occasions. There was something in Korea. Since I'm a Korean, I wanted to apply, and then something was stopped me because of some other engagement things I have to do. And also, I was a little bit afraid of the condition of which kind of environment I was going to be. It will be, there is many different residencies. They said we offer you the way you sleep or things, but airfare, you have to do it. It's fair, and sometimes we give you airfare, but your living condition is this. So I was really, really afraid of what kind of a situation I'm going to put myself in. It's a little bit bad to say as an artist, because you have to be always open to everything. But that was a reality. And then some other times there is this other residency I wanted to try, and then duration of the thing is quite long, or sometimes it's too short. So that is another thing. But deep down, I think I'm really scared of these things. And only one time I was really enthusiastic is after the UOB POY. I was interested in Fukuoka, so I was prepared a lot of things, and I was really, and then I was not selected. I was really, really hurt. And I thought, I knew it's not going to happen. So after that, I was almost like and then I went to actually Fukuoka Museum, and they have this program of the residency or this, so I really dig it. And then there was at the end there was an age limit. It has to be over 35 years old, until 35 years old or something like that. And then I thought, shit, I'm way, way old. So that's my experience.
Good answer. That's a very good answer. I think y'all can agree that's a very good answer. Thank you, Mee Ai. Kee, same question.
Yes. Well, actually, I'm just like Mee Ai. Due to family commitments, it's really difficult for me to, apply for any residency. So the opportunity came by in 2024. NAFA offered this residency over in Paris at Cité International des Arts. And it just come about the right time. And so I applied and I got it. And I think it is really a very enriching experience. I've been to Europe many times and also Paris, so I feel that, I'll be comfortable there. Yeah. Going for a residency is not just about producing work. Maybe it's about changing your mindset. How you want to be the artist next, away from distractions of daily life. During the residency, it has given me time to think and time to feel. You wake up every morning only with one mission, and that is to see how you want to, create different work in this environment. I went there with a specific purpose, actually. I plan to do my white rice painting, and also brought along different types of rice screens for a small installation, because I want to see how the foreigners will react to this kind of a concept. The small mini show turned out to be very successful. the conversations with the foreigners were really, really so inspiring. And the kind of rice that are brought over, they are from different parts of the world. It can be from Pakistan, from China, from other parts like even Japan. And I brought along this very interesting rice grain called forbidden rice. And it's actually from China, this grain. And the Chinese artists who attended asked me, why is it called forbidden rice? I say, yes, very interestingly, it was only served to the emperors during the earlier dynasties because it's supposed to be so nutrients dense, and so they want to preserve and prolong the life of the emperors. And it's not, available to the commoners. So she asked me, how about now? I said, now in this modern era, everybody who has money can buy anything, and this price is actually not that expensive. Yeah, so this kind of conversation that I had, becomes very encouraging because when they see the rice painting, they say, oh, you use the rice grain to paste on? I said, no, every grain is painted with one stroke. And, this Jordan artist said, in French, he couldn't quite speak English. And so his other friends, translators, say, oh, you are a crazy artist, but this is a good illness. You should not wake up from it and continue painting. So you see, all of this exchanges, sort of encourage you. Yes, there are, some people out there who can actually appreciate your artwork. And the 2 months spent there, you try to immerse into their culture. You visited, various museums, which is, actually free with the city card. And you see a lot of works that you have seen online during your course of studies. But facing the physical work, the experience is like, wow, You never knew that when you go near, you see how the artists, create the texture or create, the line, and how, they evolve over time, they change their painting style, and why so. Yeah, I think things like that, probably if you continue to live in where you are, you just, continue with your daily household chores, your daily phone calls, your internet distraction, and you don't really go so much deeper into your research. And it sort of really shift the way how I want to do my work. I say, I should listen more attentively to the work, how I should present to the public, and for them to understand as an artist what happens, that caused this evolution to the art practices. Yeah.
Good. Very good.
Thank you.
So from one Paris residency to another Paris residency, maybe Pannaphan can answer the question. Yeah.
ค่ะก็ตอนไป Residency คือเราเจอความหลากหลายของเพื่อนศิลปินที่มาจากประเทศต่างๆค่ะก็รู้สึกแบบการได้แลกเปลี่ยนวัฒนธรรมแล้วก็จากมีเพื่อนชาวจีนไชนีสแล้วก็มีอเมริกาเม็กซิกันที่รู้สึกว่าเขาพูดภาษาอังกฤษแบบไม่ได้แล้วเราก็ไปอยู่กับเขาเหมือนการแบบได้เรียนรู้กันภาษาอังกฤษเหมือนเป็นการแบบเขาก็ฝึกเราก็ฝึกด้วยประมาณนี้ค่ะเดี๋ยวสั้นๆก่อนดีกว่าแล้วเดี๋ยวอีก
Okay, just a short answer first. It really opened up her point of view of of the different culture as well, because in Paris she had opportunity to meet artists from different countries, from the America, Mexico, and China, and it seemed like even that those artists, they are not really fluent in English, but then that was not really a barrier for her to communicate, through art as well.
ค่ะแล้วก็การได้ไปเยี่ยมชมสตูดิโอของเพื่อนๆนะคะเหมือนแต่ละอาทิตย์จะมีการเปิด exhibition ในห้องแล้วเราก็ไปดูวิดีโออาร์ตมีแบบมีการสักเพ้นลายแล้วก็มีแบบหนังสั้นที่แบบเป็นแบบของทุกอาทิตย์อะค่ะเราพาลูกไปด้วยลูกก็ไปอยู่กับลูกของคนศิลปินจีนที่อยู่ที่นั่นแล้วเขาก็เล่นกันแล้วมันรู้สึกเป็นคอมมูนิตี้ที่แบบรู้สึกอบอุ่นมากแล้วรู้สึกว่าการได้อยู่ตรงนั้น2เดือนเนี่ยมันเป็นอะไรที่แบบคือเราไม่เคยทำงานชาเลนจ์กับเพื่อนๆศิลปินเยอะขนาดนี้ค่ะคือทุกวันตื่นเช้ามาก็จะได้ยินเสียงแบบตอกไม้ตอกทำเทคนิคต่างๆ เต็มไปหมดเลยค่ะแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าการมองไปที่หน้าต่างของเพื่อนๆเวลาเดินผ่านเขาก็จะเพนติ้งแบบงานแบบชิ้นแบบไซส์แปซิฟิกแบบชิ้นใหญ่แต่เราคือเอาไปแค่2ชิ้นนี้คือจะไม่เสร็จอยู่แล้วก็คือแบบจะทันแสดงหรือเปล่าตอนนั้นก็คือเป็นการชาเลนจ์ตัวเองว่าวันที่แสดงงานก่อนที่จะกลับเราต้องเป็นคนจัดการนิทรรศการทุกอย่างหมายถึงการชวนเพื่อนการทำโปสเตอร์การทำทุกอย่างคือสิ่งนั้นมันคือสิ่งที่เราไม่เคยเรียนรู้มาก่อนในการเป็นศิลปินเพราะเราจะให้แกลเลอรี่ทำใช่ไหมคะแต่พอไป Residency เราต้องทำเองหมดเลย
Yes. Okay, so every week they have a different exhibition. So it's a chance for her as well to have more exposure to a different technique of doing art. And she was there with her family, her daughter at that time. So it's good for the daughter as well, to go and visit a different artwork from different artists. For example, there's short movies as well that her daughter get the chance to learn something from this movie. And for her, is really a very nice culture of the community there. She felt very, very warm there in this artist community. And the challenging part as well, she said, every morning when she looked out from her window to in different units where the artists stay, and some of them produce quite a big piece of art, but then she said she produced two painting over there, and the challenge is that for her to have to manage how she can organize herself and do the exhibition as well, because as an artist very often you just rely on the gallery, right, to manage on this for you. But in Paris at that time at the residency, she had to learn how to manage by herself.
แล้วก็เหมือนเทคนิคที่เราได้มาจากซิเต้ปารีสนะคะเราไปเจอคนไร้บ้านคือพวกโฮมเลสเขาจะมีการขูดถนนคือเป็นเหมือนสตรีทอาร์ตที่เราแบบเซอร์ไพรส์มากเพราะเขาเหมือนมีความเจ็บปวดข้างในที่เขาต้องการแสดงออกแต่เขาก็ยังใช้ศิลปะเหมือนเล่นเกม XO บนพื้นถนนแล้วก็เหมือนขีดว่าแต่ละวันเขาต้องผ่านเรื่องอะไรหรือว่าขีดวันเวลาค่ะอยู่บนผนังเป็นสตรีทอาร์ตของที่ปารีสแล้วก็เรายังเห็นพวกเทคนิคที่เป็นแบบอยู่บนวอลค่ะเป็นเดคูพาร์ทที่ติดกับกระดาษแต่ว่าเป็นกราฟฟิตี้นะคะจะเป็นแบบเหมือนการเคลือบอีกทีนึงเดี๋ยวจะมีเวิร์กช็อปในช่วงท้ายช่วงเย็นนะคะที่เราได้มาจากปารีสเหมือนมันเป็นกราฟฟิตี้แล้วเราก็เอามาประยุกต์ใช้กับงานเราด้วยอันนี้ก็คือสิ่งที่เทคนิคที่เราได้เพิ่มขึ้นมาที่เราได้แบบเรียนรู้นอกเหนือจากการใช้ชีวิตก็จะมีเทคนิคกราฟฟิตี้ที่เราเห็นว่าเฮ้ยมันไม่ได้มีแค่การพ่นนะที่ปารีสอะค่ะมันจะมีโมเสกซึ่งเป็นเทคนิคโบราณที่กราฟฟิตี้ในปัจจุบันอะพวกแบบแฟชั่นแบบดีไซน์ด้วยแล้วก็พอเราเดินไปเจอมันแบบเซอร์ไพรส์มากเลยค่ะเพราะว่ามันเป็นโมเสกแต่ว่ามันเป็นป๊อปอาร์ตอันนี้ก็คือสิ่งที่เรานำมาประยุกต์ใช้กับงานโบราณหรือการเข้าไปในมิวเซียมที่ดูงานเก่าแต่เราก็มาพบงานแบบงานศิลปะที่ถูกใช้ในการประท้วงแล้วก็ผู้หญิงที่ดูแบบมีความมั่นใจดูความเป็นตัวเองมากในการแบบแต่งตัวเป็นเมืองแห่งแฟชั่นนิสต์ของปารีสอะไรเนี่ย
ใช่
Yeah. Okay, so another technique that she learned as well from homeless people in Paris. Sometimes when she walks through the street, she see some homeless people. They just do the drawing, the art piece on the pavement or on the street, and sometimes just a simple games like the XO game that they. XO game, we call it XO, but in English, I think it's tic-tac-toe that you play on the street, right? So how they did it, it just for her can become really quite a good technique to do art pieces as well. And another technique that she learned from some of these homeless people is the decoupage. So how they record their day and on the wall by using the decoupage technique. And another thing that she learned is the graffiti, but not the graffiti that you use the spray bottle to paint on the wall, but it's a decoupage technique as well. And it's interesting as well how the artists there, some of these homeless people, can express their art, their protest in the society by doing the artwork. And one more thing is about the power of women as well. You know, how they dress. It can be something quite give her a bit of the idea of the power of the woman in the dressing, because it's not like they just what I get from her is not like how they dress every day, like, you know, the stuff in Uniqlo, right? It's something quite revolutionary in putting on something on their body.
Wow, thank you. So I think what we get from this is specific to the Paris residency. If I could just share a little bit, it's a large complex of studios that have different artists from different countries. So the experience is quite unique to that. You know, there are some residencies, maybe Yen Sum would share if you know, that are a little bit different. However, I think it's clear that being in a different environment, experiencing a different culture, and really paying attention to, you know, with your senses of what's going on around you, the little anecdote about women, you know, and how they dress, and how, I like the word revolutionary. I think that's very interesting because you're paying attention to so many details. And as Kee was saying, if you're in a different environment, maybe you attune yourself, you know, you're more concentrate, you have more time to think about or to notice other things that you wouldn't if you were here and you were paying attention to your internet and your smartphone and your other stuff, right? So I think that was a very good answer. Thank you. Yeah, so from Paris, I'm going to say this, but you don't have to talk about it, only because I saw, you know, from Paris to Flores. I don't know if y'all know where Flores is. It's, okay, if you look at the map, this is Sumatra, Java, Bali, and then Lesser Sunda Islands, Indonesia. That's where Flores is. It's in the middle of nowhere. And this young lady has been to Flores. It's kind of a residency, kind of, yeah. So from the streets of Paris to the middle of nowhere, basically. Yen Sum doesn't, okay, to be fair, she doesn't have to talk about that residency, but you can talk about the other residencies. So how important are residencies to an artist practice, or maybe to yourself, and maybe talk about one that, you know, made a huge difference to you?
Yeah, I will talk about why artist residency is important to me. I don't know about others. Because to me, I always need a pause in my life. I need an excuse to escape from my daily routine, from my mom also. I don't want to answer why I'm still single, why I haven't married yet. All this question is so nonsense to me. So I need to go somewhere else. So, and I think it's very important for me to get away from the familiar environment, the language, the culture, and all these things. So I prefer to go to the residency that I don't speak their language. I don't know anything about them. So through this kind of experience, I think our five senses will be very sensitive. Like when I talk with a Japanese person, if they don't speak the language, but you know, sometimes language just to communication. We don't need to be perfect in language. So both of us, we try very hard to let us know what we are trying to talk. So we body position and the gesture and eye contact and all this will help us to understand. And this is very different when you speak the same language. Sometimes you hear, you know what they say, you don't even look at them. You say, okay, I understand what you're talking. But when you speak different language, everything will be different. And I kind of enjoy this because it provide me another perspective of looking of the place or the culture, or sometimes the way people speak will be very different, and this only you can learn if you go to somewhere else. But for the residency in Forest Island is a bit different because I'm from Malaysia. I can speak Bahasa Melayu. So for them, they call it Bahasa Patu. Oh, yeah, because the language they speak is a bit similar to Bahasa Melayu. So they call it Bahasa Patu because it's kind of ancient Melayu. So we still keep the quite original Bahasa Melayu. And I feel like, I know what they're talking, that kind of, but, okay, the same word, but different meaning. Okay. So it's bring different, The environment is very different. I born and raised in KL, a city, and the place, they don't have water supply. So we will go to the river to shower with a sarong, and you need to go to the river to get the water and then bring it back, carry like 5-10 minute walking to your place and then pour it onto the bottle to collect the water. So all the water is very precious. And all the kids, after they finish their study, they will have to carry the water, walk, and then one by one. Then I'm not sure how many times they need to do this. During the raining, they will, it's raining, we need to collect the water, we need to collect the rain, and then they will prepare everything there. So this is very new to me. Should I say new? No, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very different experience to me. And for the artist residency, the work I'm making is about the tension between the people. Because recently, I think that the war and all this kind of tension is tearing us apart. So I want to create a work that connecting us together, no matter what language we speak, who you are, where you come from. So I invite the mama, we call them mama, but in English maybe we say the weaver, to help me to make the work. So we work together to weave the artwork together. The material, I'm not sure, but you can look at it, Saja Binale, Yim Yen Sum, then you can see the installation. The front and the bottom is some kind of contrast. One is natural material, and another one is, the end is the synthetic, and one hanging up, and then the other one is low, and then outside and inside. I try to bring all these differences together to talk about, no matter how different we are, we're still able to make the conversation. We are not opponent, but we just don't know each other. So making conversation and making connection will bring us together. This is the core of the artwork. And this inspiring from the village, because we are different. So actually, the day I arrived there, they also treat me like an outsider. So I'm like a walking money, this girl from city, she must be rich. So they try to selling something to me, and then treat me like a tourist. But through the time I be with them, slowly they become my mother. So, I truly enjoy this kind of process from a stranger, and then slowly we become friends and we have the attachment to each other. And this is why I love residency. We have the chemical reaction to each other. And this is so different from video and all this, because you experience this in person.
Yeah. Good. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Did you say, but having a shower in the river absolutely horrifies me,